What's going on, Pokemon Fab 5 fans? This is Sin, and welcome to the first edition of PokeTubers on here on the Pokemon Fab 5 channel. And what this series is about. Before I get into that, though, a huge shout out to Nike Faller. That's Myke Faller. He is a YouTuber in the sports community that I've known for quite some time now. He has over 100,000 subs. Big shout out to him. I hit him up on Twitter. I said, hey, your commentators on idea series was amazing, and I want to pass it on to the Pokemon community. See if that would really spark a fire in the Pokemon community. And he was more than willing, more than accepting to pass it on and have it really branch off into the Pokemon community. And I really couldn't be more thankful for him for that. And it's just... I really couldn't have gone farther than that without him. You know, this guy's an amazing guy. Go check him out. If you guys don't know him, check him out. He's just an amazing guy. So what is PokeTubers on? PokeTubers on is a series where you guys ask a general question, whether it's like something related to Pokemon, or what's your favorite Pokemon, or what's your least favorite Pokemon. Some general questions, you know, that you guys might have. So this week, we decided to make our own question, which it won't probably ever happen again where we make our own question, because you guys are the ones that are asking the questions. This is kind of your series. So what is the question this week? Why we chose our mascots. So you'll find out soon enough why we chose our mascots, and leave your comments next week or anytime at all when you're watching this video. Just having a general question, like any Pokemon question related to anything. Just make sure you type it in the comment section, and you know, we will do the best of our abilities to get to your question, and hopefully, you know, this series will take off because of you guys. You guys are the best, and we wouldn't be here today without you guys. So thank you guys so much for really being just awesome supporters. Thank you to Nike Faller for being such an awesome freaking guy. And until, you know, in a few minutes, my name is Sin, and I'm out.
What's up, guys? JPP, aka Just Play Pokemon here, and the reason that I picked my mascot as a Bulbasaur was because when I was little and I first got the game, I had a choice between Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. All the cool kids were picking Charmander. I didn't really like the way Squirtle looked compared to Bulbasaur, so I'm like, alright, I like Bulbasaur. He's pretty sweet. He's not on the cover of either of Red or Blue, which was the first two games that I played. I'm going to roll with this guy. And from then on, I love Bulbasaur. Can't wait to just wreck through the game with him. That was my whole mindset. You know, that was my whole MO. It was like, first time I'm playing through this, I ended up with like a level 83 Venusaur by the end of the game, wrecking the Elite Four. I thought that Razor Leaf was the coolest move and the best move. I was so young, I wasn't even paying attention to the power stats. Man, those were the days. Call me a Gen 1er if you want, but Bulbasaur is my favorite Pokemon, and it always will be. Good in the anime as well. Can't beat Bulbasaur. No matter what anybody else says, that's my guy. It's all a matter of opinion, though, for real. I just love Bulbasaur.
So the question is, why did I choose Shanks, Luxio, and Luxray as my mascot kind of thing? Well, it's Shanks, but why did I choose that Pokemon in its evolutionary chain? It goes way back in the day when I did Pokemon Victory Fire. I think it was late last year, and it was one of the most fun ROM hacks I played, and I was like, okay, when I started my Pokemon channel, I didn't play Pokemon ROM hacks. I didn't play Gens 4 through 6 until most recently, obviously. But I caught one, and I was just like, hey, I love this thing. This thing's pretty good. You know, let's give this a shot. You know, so it evolved into Luxio, and I was just pretty much just astounded by the way its attacking was. It pretty much wrecked through everything. It had some decent speed along with it. And then it evolved into Luxray, and I was just like, man, this thing's just God mode to me. And I got one in Heart Gold, in the egg lock that I did a while back too, and most recently the Fab 5 run, Pokemon Resolute, and the Y Wonder Lock. So obviously I've had Luxray a bunch of times, but there has not been a single time where it has failed me. So I just love this Pokemon's evolutionary chain to death. Shinx is just adorable. I would give it a hug every day. I would never let go. I love that thing to death. So that is why I chose Shinx as my mascot.
Why did I choose my favorite Pokemon as a mascot? Well, Grimer's not really my favorite Pokemon, as some of you may know and most of you may not know. Most of you may think, hey, Mascot's his favorite Pokemon. Grimer is not my favorite Pokemon by any means necessary. Typhlosion is. But, well, Grimer is just that derp. How did I really get to love it and have it as my mascot? It goes back to about, I'd say January of 2012, I believe. Around then, whenever I would first make Galactic Elliot, I made Galactic Elliot in December of 2011. You know, I didn't really have a set mascot. I mostly, you know, ran with Typhlosion, ran with Gohan, and different types of icons. I never really had a set mascot, really. So, why is Grimer my favorite, or why is Grimer my mascot? It's pretty much back when my friend was making me an intro, and I didn't really know what I wanted to put in the intro, honestly. We had Mario, there was Zelda, there was Sonic, there was types of things, but, well, how are we going to put Pokemon in the intro? My friend Robert actually went through videos and found Grimer, and Grimer from the anime was like going like Grimer and going like all over this like one person trying to scare them, and it's just like so funny and so derpy and so dumb that I was just like, hey, I kind of love Grimer now, because it's, I don't know, I just died of laughter whenever I saw that. And I just put in the intro as a joke, and then it just kind of, you know, stayed in all my intros, because it was just so awesome and funny, and just like brought that random aspect and that fun aspect out of me, pretty much. I'm that random person, and Grimer kind of just suits that well. Just wants to have fun, wants to fuck around, and who the hell has a Grimer as their freaking mascot on YouTube? Maybe people do now, but back then, nobody did. And I was pretty much the first to it, pretty like, you know, I'm just saying. And I kept with it, so Grimer is my mascot for that reason. It's just derpy, and I love derpy Pokemon, and it just wants to have fun, and it kind of just represents me in a way where I'm just weird and random as hell. And that's what Grimer just suits so much. I wouldn't use it in a battle necessarily, but it's still my mascot, and I love it to death.
And here's the story of how I picked Glalie to be my mascot. Back when I was playing Pokemon, my first generation was Gen 3. And there was just something about Snorunt that I really liked. I thought it was adorable. And I thought, you know what? I was like 9 years old, 8 years old. And I said, you know what? I think this would be an awesome Pokemon to use. So I started using it. I needed a nice type. I didn't know much about the game. I didn't really know how things went. And then it evolved into Glalie. I said, holy cow, this is awesome. It's a floating head with horns. It looks so badass. It looks so menacing. It had sheer cold, which was ridiculous back in Gen 3, especially for a guy who didn't know what Pokemon really was all about. I mean, I knew the game. I wasn't really good. I was just kind of a kid. I was really enjoying it. So even though I've experienced Pokemon that I really enjoy, and Glalie doesn't have the best use overall, I always find that he's one of my favorites because it reminds me of my first time playing Pokemon in my childhood. Obviously, there are other Pokemon that I use a lot more, that I've become really attached to, like Dunsparce or Alakazam or a few others. But there's just something about this floating head with the ice and the black spots and the blue eyes or red eyes that just make me remember my childhood fondly and want to continue using him as my mascot. The fact that he never melts also is pretty cool, and that's pretty much it. I love Glalie. It's just simple as that. Not for any reason besides the fact that it was one of the first Pokemon that I truly, really liked and thought was really awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed my perspective on my favorite Pokemon. Or, you know, at least my mascot, because that's really what he is. I don't know if he's considered my favorite Pokemon, or if I consider him that, but he's definitely my mascot because he brings back the memories of why I have a Pokemon channel and why I love Pokemon to begin with. Yeah.
Alright guys, so I picked Piplup as my mascot Pokemon because, well, first of all, you have that nostalgia factor going on. It was my first Pokemon that I had. Now, I got Pokemon Diamond, and, you know, there are 3 different stars. Obviously, you have Chimchar, which is pretty cool. Turtwig also pretty chill, but then I saw that little penguin, the Piplup, and it's so fucking adorable. Now, when it evolves, I love the whole evolutionary chain. Not so much Piplup, but Empoleon is fucking amazing. It's a penguin with a tuxedo. And it has that water steel typing, and that is just really cool. But Piplup is just that original Pokemon that I had, and I always just had that close little bond. And it's kind of like a little sidekick, and you know, it's pretty cool in the anime too. I always like to you know, bust others' chops, and I think that's pretty funny. And I always love the water type starters, and obviously I have all of them. Piplup is my favorite, and all the others are really awesome. It's just kind of like that nostalgia, you know, combined with you know, the fact that it's 4th gen, and it's a water starter, and it's a little penguin, and it's awesome, and it evolves into a water steel type. How could you not love that? And you have some type coverage too. It can learn Grass Knots, Flash Cannon, Drill Peck. Surf obviously is a great move to have, and it's not great competitively. He's not going to win any awards with that, but it is a solid Pokemon to run through a playthrough with, and it's just a great Pokemon to have. Cool to have that steel typing going on, and of course I got, you know, got to have that nostalgia in there. I can't say that I'm a little bit blinded by nostalgia, but how can you not love Piplup? Look at that little cute little penguin. It's just awesome. So anyway, guys, that is why I have Piplup as my mascot Pokemon, and yeah.
So that was the first ever edition of PokeTubers on here on the Pokemon Fab 5 channel. And once again, thank you to Nike Faller for being such an awesome guy and being really supportive of this. And make sure you guys check him out. And also, make sure you guys leave your questions in the comment section on which, you know, general question you really have. And we'll take your questions into serious consideration. And we will try and get it up as fast as we can. We're only going to do this maybe like once a week. So don't expect this to come out like every day. So, and also, if you're a PokeTuber and you want to be a part of this series, hit one of us on Skype or on Twitter or fucking Instagram. I don't know. Hit us up somewhere. And make sure that you, you know, ask if you want to be a part of it. And we'll take that into consideration as well. So, thank you guys for watching, and until then, I'm Sin, and you're on the Pokemon Fab 5, and I'm out. Peace.